I don't think I need to explain to you guys what this award actually is. This is our award for the team that did the most, that went the farthest, that punched the hardest in 2020. Let's take a look at the Roster of the Year nominations and winner.
The nominees for the 2020 Roster of the Year are Dallas Empire, Call of Duty; Damwon Gaming, League of Legends; FURIA, CSGO; San Francisco Shock, Overwatch; Team Secret, Dota 2. And the winner is Damwon Gaming.
Okay, Arrow is going to connect here as Chovy tried to disintegrate someone off to the side, but Pioshek is the one in trouble. Ghost, not a lot of mana, but he's got arrows, and he will be able to take them down. It is going to be Chovy falling as well on the fight on the top side. We'll have to check that one out in the replay as Kerry is going to get taken out by Showmaker.
Hold that thought, because Jankos is going to be the one who's in trouble now. Forced to use the ult pretty early into this fight, but Canyon zoned away. Jankos does do a lot of damage here with the Storm Razor. Debating on his options there. Stolen ult coming out. Ooh, the shutdown as well. Hit him with the hose. Caps holding on to the circle, holding on as long as he can. Showmaker going into a big heal, and that's going to be it. Mickey now caught in the midst of the entire team of Damwon. 3 members strong here. Just looking to run this Leona down. Facebreaker won't connect, but Showmaker sure will, and that's going to be it.
Damwon will silence Shanghai, and Damwon Gaming are your season 2020 world champions.
All right, well, congratulations to everybody who was spamming Damwon Easy in the chat. You are right. They are definitely the winners. They deserved it this year. We got a lot to say about them. But first, let's give some love to our nominees. We touched on them a little earlier, Dimitri, but how about Team Secret and Dota, who apparently won everything?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, every year after Secret doesn't win TI, their captain and founder, Puppy, makes some roster changes. And every year the roster changes seem, good, not great, and the team proceeds to do good, not great. But after TI9, where the team got 4th place, which was very respectable showing, they picked up Matumba Man, who we're going to talk about later in one of our next categories. So I won't, I won't go too much into that territory now. But it wasn't an acquisition that everybody was expecting, and they proceeded to just go on an incredible tear. It really felt like they found the right formula of players, and in addition to winning the major in January, the big thing that made headlines, that even if you don't play Dota, you probably saw, is that they won 7 consecutive grand finals clean, like 3-0, 7 consecutive grand finals. I will repeat it.
That's unthinkable, dude. I apologize for interrupting you, but like every time you say that out loud, I'm like, how is that real?
They were really consistent, and they were just decimating everybody left and right. And I will repeat, it is a genuine travesty that we did not get to see these guys actually try to make a TI run this year, because it feels like after 5 years, and for those who know, this team's history is long and storied, right? It seems like Secret's time is now, but what do they do with it?
What a terrible time to be now.
It's a bad time to have your time be now.
It's rough. I feel for them. I really do.
Dude, truly, a lot of us are asking the question, what do we do with the time that is now?
And all this.
Now, Keith, I know a lot of people in chat were salty about this one. San Francisco Shock did not win, but they definitely deserve one hell of a nod.
Look, I mean, it's hard to undersell a team that had not only the hopes, the hopes of their fans, but also the hopes of the Overwatch League. It's the same thing when I was talking about ONS. Like, this is a team that's trying to prove that Overwatch is not dead. It's a real esport, and that people actually give a fuck about it. And I mean, they did an incredible job of doing it. One thing that stands out to me the most about San Francisco is they show us more than maybe any other team in esports, for my money, what being a team is really like. You can't, right now, the way that Overwatch is balanced, you can't really carry. And I guess that's why they didn't need Sinatra. This is a team that used their bench. You have Smurf coming in at the beginning of the year, playing Orisa during that meta game, and then you have Super coming off the bench later in the year to play Hog once the meta shifted. Played like massive games on Roadhog. And this is a team that was able to win 2 out of the 3 in-season tournaments, the little mini majors that Overwatch League had during COVID, and then they were able to take down their 2nd consecutive Overwatch League title. That's about as impressive as it gets for esports.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Now, that was an impressive resume, and I'm going to let Dimitri swoop in. And look, I know it's new to chat, but for the rest of us, for the 100th time, tell us why FURIA CSGO is the truth.
Why art is the lord and savior of Counter-Strike. FURIA, I think, really played a pivotal role in just bringing this whole, online era, right? This asterisk year of CSGO, just bringing it alive in a way that really I don't think anyone expected. They are revolutionizing the way that CS is played. Just go watch some of their pro league VODs if you haven't, and listen to chat, right? To Sponge talk about, how their unmitigated aggression is just completely changing the face of Counter-Strike right now. And I gotta say, they're only getting stronger, and I cannot wait to see next year how many spawns Art is going to rush with a P90. I'm just super excited to see it.
I really like how you put that. Like they're a bright spot in kind of like a kind of year because of the online thing, and that's a good way of phrasing it. Honestly, like some of the clips these guys have are bonkers, like that one from the other day where they it's on Inferno and they fake a plant B. They literally start punching in the numbers and then they take the bomb to A. It was like 200 IQ or 0 IQ, I don't know, 4,000 IQ, but it was mind-blowing. And you just don't see people play like that, to your point.
Yeah, it really is a new style they're pioneering. And I'll say, shout out to Art again. I'll plug him. Like, when Glaive came back from his break, right, when Astralis were kind of slowly assembling back together, when Glaive tweets about you and says that you're the one that he's afraid to play, right? I mean, you got to be doing something right. That's the highest compliment there is.
I just want to see these guys on LAN, an international LAN, playing against the best of the best to see what they're truly made of, dude. That's what I want to see.
Absolutely.
Now, Josh, we've got a representation from the Call of Duty world here who had their own incredible season, in case you guys didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, the Dallas Empire are, I think, one of the most exciting teams to watch for next year. And part of the reason for that is they were branded by some people a little bit early on as being like onliners. But if you had to pick a year to be onliners, this is probably the one you want to pick. Because so much has been held online. And they did end up winning CDL. So they won the inaugural CDL. They won $1.5 million. So kudos to them. And one of the other things about it is, I don't know about you guys, but my life has been, it felt like the time since March has been extremely long. But for Crim6, it's almost like he went back in time. Like that period of time actually just made him go backwards and just he looked like it was like peak Crim, honestly. Some of the stuff that he did, including some of the search and destroy maps that he played, were actually really incredible statistically. And now, sort of the anticlimactic thing, and where I'm going with this, when I said that you want to watch them in 2021, is that Cold War is going to be 4-on-4 as opposed to 5-on-5. So, 24 hours after they win this championship, they're called, it's going to be 4v4, and Clayster gets dropped from the roster. So the roster is Shotzi, Hook, Illy, and Crim, and Clayster's going to have to find a new team to play for, basically. And that, to me, is so cool, because you can, if you don't know anything about COD, maybe you don't care about COD at all, the action in COD was actually pretty good last year, and it looks like it will be even better in 2021. And this team is a team that wants to repeat. They want to prove as soon as they can that they're not just onliners, that they're for real, and they'll beat you with 4 out of their 5 as well. And Crim seems amped to do it. So I personally will be watching them. There's all sorts of other really interesting developments in Call of Duty League, including some new franchises. But it's going to be an exciting year for COD, and these guys made 2020 extremely exciting to watch, whether you're new to the esport or you're already a fan of some of these players who played for so long.
The cases you gentlemen made were very good, but they weren't good enough, because Damn One Gaming, Dan, was a Terminator this year. and they played in a world championship, which a lot of these guys can't say.
The thing about Damwon Gaming is that to understand why they're a winner, you gotta understand that like people are already saying that they had one of the most dominant performances at Worlds of all time. This was like last month, right? 2 months ago or whatever. People are already saying it, and this is probably one of, if not the most competitive Worlds League has ever seen. Like, these guys rolled the tournament. They only dropped, what, like 2-3 games the whole tournament? It's nuts. To go backwards, they had a bit of a rough spring, but then they made a roster swap. They bring in Ghost at AD carry, and Ghost basically says, like, Ghost is this guy, he's kind of seen as, he's a veteran, but he's seen as like, oh, you know, he's a bit of an also-ran, you know, his time has passed. They bring him in, and he basically says, like, I'll play weak side AD carry. This is what I'm going to do. Don't give me resources. Barrel the support. He's going to get to roam around the map. Everybody else, I will absorb the pressure for you guys. You guys, like, open up the map, be aggressive, right? Like, play forward, and I don't need the resources. And what that created was that he basically enabled the stars of the team, Canyon, Nuguri, Showmaker, to just go off. And there's not a lot to say about Summer because they stomped Korea so hard that there's literally nothing to say. People were saying that, oh, you know, Korea's not good. It's just Damwon. Like, they were incredible. Going into Worlds, you know, there was a question like, oh, you know, the Chinese teams, they're the teams everyone was looking at. Not to say that Damwon wasn't a favorite, but I certainly think if you had asked a lot of people, people thought we're going to see an all-China Grand Finals or, you know, the Chinese team's going to take it. And Damwon comes in there and brings it back to Korea. These guys are incredible at resource allocation. They're incredible at team play. Obviously, they have, like I said, you know, those 3 standout stars in Canyon, Showmaker, Nuguri, but like Barrel and Ghost should not be overlooked, right? Ghost is incredible at roaming and, you know, keeping the entire map open for his team, Barrel is rather, and Ghost is incredible at, you know, like I said, playing with no resources and still sometimes popping off. This is a team where everybody is working together for the greater whole. They are greater than some of their parts, and there's nobody else that could even match them when it comes to talking about roster of the year as a holistic 5-man team that works together perfectly.
And Dan, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the results, right? Like, we can talk about how good they are as a team. We can talk about their mechanics, which were utterly flawless and kind of scary, honestly, how consistent they were. But all of it sort of pales or crumbles in comparison to the fact that they dumpstered the world's final.
And here's the thing that's so cool. They were always able to somehow play from the back foot, unlike any other team at the tournament.
And again, I love storylines personally. Like, that's, you know, you talked about the crowd. That's important. I like storylines too, right? It's not just about the mechanics and the W's and that kind of stuff. And you touched on this, but man, was I invested in Damwon after, you know, we got this narrative of the fallen gods of Korea. This juggernaut of the esport, which was untouchable, unthinkably good for so long. And then fell by the wayside, was made mortal.
Yeah, and it's also, like, not to mention their personal storyline. These are a bunch of rookies, aside from, like I said, Ghost, right? Like, these are a bunch of rookies who made it to Worlds. Sorry? Sorry?
I said actual children.
Actual children. They're very young, many of these guys are, right? And it's like, they made it to Worlds last year, they get knocked out, and they come back and win the whole thing. That's crazy. It's so cool.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.